give me 2 tips, 2 things that you might advise the MSPs in the audience to do to increase employee satisfaction and loyalty.
Well, yeah, sorry to correct you publicly, but actually he didn't work for me when I was an MSP. I would have hired him in a heartbeat. Oh my gosh. He worked for me on the vendor side for one of the big names that we all know. I had the privilege of interviewing him. I flew up to DC or whatever, and he took a train down from Massachusetts, and we met at whatever it is, Grand Central Station or something. I don't know what the train station is there. I don't know the Northeast. And ultimately moved down to the Carolinas to hold that role. And yeah, I really enjoyed working for Crall. Part of the reason I enjoyed working for him, my first tip would be, is I like to listen to fresh ideas. And as a sales leader, it's easy, and especially for me with my very humble demeanor, to think I always know what's right. And Crall is one of those people that has a completely different perspective. So I want to say, if you've got some people with perspectives, and you do, working for you, shut up and listen for a minute. That's always been my challenge. And Crall is one of those people that when he talks, it's a really good idea to listen, because some of the perspectives come from a completely different angle that I just didn't imagine possible. So listen more and talk less as a leader. Especially in a sales environment where you think you have a process and methodology figured out. Don't be afraid to get uncomfortable in the conversations and let the employees or direct reports have a seat at the table. You work for them. They don't work for you. We all work for the customers, and we work for the customer's customer, but the sales is your first line of communication with potential customers and existing customers. So listen to them. Remember, you work for them. Take their feedback and make it a part of, incorporate it into your operations and processes. That would be tip number 1 I learned from Crall specifically. And I think the second one actually comes from Crall, because as you're going to find out in this interview, Crall is a unique individual. And I wouldn't change a thing about the guy. The crazy haircut, the fashion statements he can make, the humor, it's all priceless. Let your employees be real. This you got to wear this uniform and walk this way and talk this way. That is yesterday. Okay. There are some really unique personalities within your organization, and I would not try to change those. I would not try to conform those. Obviously you've got to have some rules somewhere, but when it comes to individuality, leverage that, because the customers you're working with, especially working with small businesses or medium-sized businesses, they're people doing business with people, and you've got to let your people be real. Let them be themselves. Encourage individuality. Let the diversity be a shining factor in your persona as a company. You can have your brand requirements. You can have your logo. You can even have your dress code if you feel that's appropriate. But I would question that. I would let your employees be individuals and let them are. That's part of why you hired them in the first place.
You know what? 2 really great pieces of advice there, Mark. I love them both, and they're both, they will contribute to the success of the business overall. But you can pretty clearly see why they would contribute to employee satisfaction and loyalty, right? So, your employees are just going to be happier on the job, more loyal. They're going to work harder if they feel like their opinions matter, like you're listening to them, you're taking them seriously. That's an empowering feeling. That's a feeling that conveys respect and appreciation, and everybody, I think, responds to that. And similar kind of thing, if you're giving people some room to be themselves, and you're not trying to fit them into some cookie cutter mold, that just makes the workplace a better, more enjoyable, more satisfying place to be. And you mentioned a dress code. Most of the MSPs I know, they want you to, if you're going to be talking to customers in person, they want you to look a certain way and maintain a certain professional demeanor. But to let your personality, your individuality shine through, and trust people to do that, without embarrassing the business and so on. I think that too is empowering and rewarding for employees.
Absolutely.